There are a few things we need to teach our children. It's so easy to expect our children to be the best when we are not even trying to make the best out of them. So, some time ago, I talked about things we shouldn't tolerate from our children. So, today, I want to talk about things we owe them. We need to teach them. And to be able to teach them some of those things, we need to acquire some of the skills. Number one, we have to be very patient. You wear it as clothes so that you will be able to teach them, understand them, and all sorts. You have to be an active listener. That's number two. If you're not patient, you can't actively listen to your children. So you need to learn how to actively listen to them. Don't interrupt. We're so quick to sometimes want to interrupt our children when they are talking because we think they are talking, you know, no sense. But please listen to the end before you can now begin to give your advice. The other one is we need to be consistent in whatsoever skills or behavior we want to model in them. Consistent in discipline, yes. Consistent in regulating the emotion, consistent in everything. Don't blow hot on a matter today and on the same matter tomorrow you blow cold. Even babies will know when you're not serious with them and they will begin to take you for granted. So don't. Be consistent. And if you're husband and wife, please, it makes sense that both of you are consistent in the same way. If your husband is speaking A, please speak A with your husband. If your husband is not right, try and correct your husband in the bedroom, not before the child. And then both of you, when you have made sense, will go out and make the correction with the child so that you will not confuse a child's brain. You have to learn how to be empathic. This is number four. Empathize with them when they are in a mess, when they have made mistake. Validate their feelings, but also empathize with them. And then after that, you could begin to make correction. If you want to correct them without empathy, I don't think you will be able to eventually develop the type of lasting relationship you need with your child, including the trust they need from you. You will teach them problem solving, how to solve their problem. Now, problem will always come. It's so easy for a child to run away from problem. But then, when you teach them how to calm down, analyze their situation, and then come up with, options, solutions. And over time, the child will learn how to solve even complicated problems. So please teach your child how to solve problems. Teach your child time management. It's very important. Many of us joke with our time. And those of us from the African origin will say it's African time. There is nothing like that. Especially in this era of social media, cell phone, internet. If you don't teach your child how to manage their time, they will most likely spend the whole day scrolling through the phone from one page to the other and waste the time they would have used to study or do things that will, benefit them. So teach them how to manage their time. Teach them to, have a schedule of things they want to do and not be used by friends. Friends will plan their own days and then come and say, come with me, and they will go because they had no plan. They had no idea of how to manage their time. So time management becomes very important at this point. There is a big one that I want to talk about. Adaptability. Teach your children how to adapt to any condition whatsoever. Today they may be eating salad, living in air-conditioned homes, flying aeroplane to one country for summer or the other, and then something terrible happens and they are no longer able to afford it. That's enough. If you've not taught them to adapt, that's enough to drive them to depression. So, teach your children how to adapt to any condition of life. Adapt to village lifestyle, and I think that's why I love the Igbo tribe from Nigeria. They like to go home for Christmas. Those are where children who live in cities abroad will learn how to carry bucket on their head and go and fetch water from the stream. Some of those are actually disappearing fast because now many people have boreholes. But yes, those are how you learn how to adapt. Some will learn how to eat all manner of local food, which they are not used to before. I remember vividly when my kids were very small and they went to spend holiday with my senior brother. And then I'll give a typical example. They were taking pap. They use honey to drink their pap or tea, but we use sugar. Now my kids struggle to, you know, use honey. And I remember one of them saying, but mom, why can't they get us sugar? I said, because when you go to Rome, you do like Romans. And so use their honey here. And he said, so if they come to our house, they will use sugar. I said, sure. I'm not going to go buy honey because they are in my house. They will use what I'm using. So teach your children how to adapt so that they will be able to survive anything the life throws at them. And then you have to teach them self-care. Self-care is very important. While it's okay that they can care for others, they also have to learn that self-care is first. They have to learn how to love themselves, care for themselves, before they will be able to care for another. The Bible said you should love others as you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't love others. So it is very important that we also learn that. Now there are so many things to discuss here or to mention, and I'm sure you have wealth of experience. Share some of your experiences so that we all can learn together. One of the things that I have also learned is to do what you say. Yes, I'll give you an example. Someone I know who was trying to teach the children how to obey the law. That was back then in Nigeria. And then on this particular day, he zoomed past a red light without stopping. It was a mistake. You know, sometimes your mind is not totally there. And the little boy, his son, said, but Dad, you beat the red light. And he was so sorry. Now he had to consciously apologize to them and then drive back to the red light or to the light and make sure he stops at every red light going forward consciously. He explained to them that driving demands a presence of mind and apologized to them that he actually did something wrong. This is to say that whatsoever you do, these children are looking at you. Before you can begin to say, this is not what I'll tolerate, you also have to instill character. Character that is good. You know, they should be able to learn from you. Whatever they see is what they learn from. I know we have a lot more. I'm also not saying I've perfected all of this. I am learning as I train my children. Remember, training your children is a lifelong effort because even as married and as old as I am, my mom still trains me. My relations that are older sometimes also add their voice. And so we keep learning every day. Let our children learn and not be a disgrace to us. Yes. I talk again. Active listening, patience, consistency in what we do, problem solving, empathy, time management, adaptability,